Alex Eala's Tears of Joy. 20-year-old Scripps history becomes first Filipino to Alex Eala has made the kind of history that transcends sport. At just 20 years old, she became the first player from the Philippines to win a main draw singles match at a Grand Slam, defeating Denmark's Clara Tauson in a dramatic opening round match at the US Open on Monday, August 25. The three-set scoreline, 6-3, 2-6, 7-6, 13-11, barely captures the intensity of the battle. Eala led with composure in the first set, faltered in the second, and looked on the brink of defeat in the third when Tauson surged ahead 5-1. But the young Filipina, backed by a noisy crowd that included many from New York's Filipino community, dug in with remarkable resilience. Point by point, she clawed her way back, eventually forcing a tiebreak that stretched into the kind of nail-biting finish that tests every ounce of nerve. When Tauson's final shot drifted wide, Eala dropped to her knees in tears, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the achievement. For the Philippines, a country with a rich sporting culture but little tradition of tennis success, Eala's victory is a breakthrough decades in the making. No Filipino player, male or female, had ever advanced beyond the opening round of a Grand Slam singles draw. Eala's triumph not only rewrote the record books but also sent a surge of pride across her nation, where she has long been seen as a trailblazer. Eala herself was quick to acknowledge that the moment was bigger than her. "It's not just about me," she was quoted saying courtside. "This is about inspiring kids back home, about showing them that we can belong on this stage." Rising through the ranks, Eala's rise has been steady, marked by milestones that hinted at this historic breakthrough. As a teenager, she trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, a move that sharpened her technical skills and exposed her to world-class competition. In 2022, she won the US Open girls singles title, becoming the first Filipina to capture a junior Grand Slam trophy. That triumph signaled her potential, but the path to the professional level was anything but straightforward. Injuries and the pressures of transition slowed her early steps on the WTA Tour, yet Eala kept pushing. This year has been her true coming of age. She made headlines at the Miami Open by beating former Grand Slam champions and reaching the semifinals, a first for a Filipino player. Later, on grass, she reached the final in Eastbourne, again breaking new ground for her country. Each of those moments felt historic, but nothing compares to what she achieved in New York. Filipino diaspora at Flushing Meadows. The Filipino diaspora made its presence felt at Flushing Meadows, waving flags, chanting her name, and transforming the grandstand court into a sea of blue, red, and yellow. For many, it was a moment of collective identity, watching one of their own succeed at the sport's highest level. Back home, news of Eala's win spread rapidly. Social media lit up with messages from fellow athletes, politicians, and fans who hailed her as a symbol of perseverance. For a country where basketball and boxing dominate the sporting spotlight, Eala's success is broadening the horizons of what is possible. The road ahead for Alex Eala. Eala's journey at this year's US Open is far from over. Her second-round match will offer a fresh test, but regardless of how deep she goes in the draw, her place in history is already secure. What matters now is how she builds on this moment. With confidence growing and experience under her belt, Eala has the chance to carve out a long and impactful career on the WTA Tour. But perhaps the greater story lies beyond her individual success. Eala's win will likely inspire a new generation of young Filipinos to pick up a racket, dream bigger, and believe that global stages like Wimbledon, Roland Garros, and the US Open are not out of reach. A new era for Filipino tennis. Every so often, sport delivers a moment that feels like a turning point. For Philippine tennis, Alex Eala's breakthrough in New York may be just that. The tears she shed after match point were not just the release of personal emotion, but a reflection of what the victory means for her country.